Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this August 26th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Saturday out there so far. Everybody has a great Saturday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about your forecast for Sunday and Monday. Also, we're going to take a look at some new information on Tropical Depression number 10, which will become Tropical Storm Adelia and will become Hurricane Adelia, just like the way I've been predicting, as it heads toward the Big Bend region or the Panhandle of Florida. So stick around for that. Also, we're going to take a look at the Washington Warning Advisory map. Also, take a look at the Storm Prediction Center overview, and also storm reports that came in for this afternoon. And also, we're going to talk about a little bit about Tropical Storm Franklin and also the disturbances in the tropical Atlantic. Okay, if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and be sure now to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to it yet. Also, like these videos, share these videos, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. Alrighty, as you can see here, we got quiet conditions standing from Quebec, Canada, all the way through Montreal, Toronto, Canada, portion of Maine, also down toward portion of New York State, down toward Philadelphia, also back towards Chicago, Ohio, back into Chicago, Wisconsin, Minnesota, all the way back in the port of Kansas, Nebraska, South and North Dakota, through port of Montana, southern Canada, back to Vancouver, Canada as well. Also the Seattle, Washington vicinity, all the way down to San Francisco, Los Angeles, also Oregon, Nevada as well, also down toward the Gulf of California, northern and central Mexico as well. Here is Tropical Depression number 10 located here, and here is Hurricane Franklin located in the western Atlantic, not too far from Bermuda and just east of the Bahamas. Alright, we got showers and storms up here in portion of Maine, back down toward Boston and New York City, also in the New York State as well. Also toward Washington, D.C., over toward portion of Pennsylvania, through Virginia, through the Carolinas, all the way down to Miami, Florida, to Florida Keys, all the way back to portion of Houston and Dallas area, including the Atlanta metro area as well. Also over toward the New Mexico, Denver, Colorado vicinity, Wyoming, and portion of Montana and Idaho as well. The red slashed area here across the Carolinas and up into southeast Virginia. Some heavy rain and flash flooding will be possible for your Sunday. Alright, here's a look at your forecast for Monday. As you can see here, we got quiet conditions from Quebec, Canada, through portion of Maine, through Montreal, Toronto, Canada, over toward Chicago, Illinois. Also back down to portion of Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, portion of Oklahoma, all the way back through Nebraska, through the Dakotas, all the way back to Montana, southern Canada, portion of southwestern Canada as well, through portion of Oregon, Idaho, also into San Francisco, Los Angeles, down to the Gulf of California, also into portions of central and portions of northern and northwestern Mexico as well. Storms over here in southwestern Canada, portions of it that is, down to Vancouver and the Seattle, Washington, also in northern Oregon. Showers and storms also in portion of Montana through Wyoming, Nebraska, down toward Denver, Colorado. Also down into New Mexico, Texas, Dallas, also down toward the Houston area, through the Gulf of Mexico, down toward the Florida Keys, Miami area, up toward Atlanta, Georgia, to the Carolinas, up to Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, Boston area, and also into portions of New Hampshire and Vermont, New York State, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia vicinities as well. Alright, the red slashed area there across Georgia, around the Atlanta metro area, through portions of the Carolinas. Some heavy rain and flash flooding possible. There is Tropical Depression 10, which will become Tropical Storm Adelia tomorrow or later on tonight. And also here is Hurricane Franklin still making his move off to the north and northeast. Alright, that's your forecast for Monday. Alright, here's a look at the satellite imagery for Tropical Depression 10. Getting well defined this evening. Looks better organized this evening than earlier video that I did earlier. If you'd like to check that video out, you're welcome to check it out again, and you're welcome to watch the parts in that forecast cycle. So go ahead and check it out if you get a chance. You can see they get some heavy rain down in portions of the Yucatan Peninsula, also up into portion of Cuba as well. This activity will continue to spin around for a couple, maybe through tomorrow, as high pressure to the north is kind of keeping it suppressed to the south at this time. But as that high pressure system kind of retrogrades back off to the east, that will allow this system to start to finally move to the north on your Monday. All right, let's take a look at some information on Tropical Depression 10. We're going to try to look at the storm track from the National Hurricane Center. This is Franklin, but this is Franklin's information. Uh, but hopefully we will get this image up here shortly. All right, it's a coming. All right, as you can see here, we're in effect for portions of the Yucatan Peninsula. We have tropical storm watches in effect for you guys here in portion of Cuba. This is the current position of Tropical Depression 10. This was at 4 p.m. About 1 a.m. Monday. That's why I said later on tonight it could become a tropical storm. Continue as a tropical storm. Just as I predicted, it's supposed to become a hurricane. I've been saying that for a while. It's expected to become a hurricane. According to the Hurricane Center, I think it's going to become a hurricane because the waters in this area here is expected to be pretty well warm enough for tropical development and probably growth in this system. Will it become a Category 2 hurricane? It's out of the question yet. It could. But anyway, the center of the storm looks to be at 1 p.m. Wednesday, right over southern Georgia. And then over here by 1 p.m. Thursday, over southeastern North Carolina. Not too far from around the Rockingham, I think, Lumberton area of North Carolina. So if the storm track goes this way, most of the bad weather will be along the coastal area. But if the storm is down in here, some of the bad weather still on the northeast side. So it still may retrograde through portions of South Carolina. All right. If you're plotting this storm at home, the location is located near latitude 21.1 north, longitude 86.1 west. Maximum sustained wind right now is at 30 miles per hour. I would not be surprised the next advisory it may go up to 35 or maybe 40 miles per hour. Movement right now is stationary, like I said, because that high pressure ridge is setting over the Gulf of Mexico, keeping it suppressed to the south at this time. But as the high retrogrades off to the east, all right. Let's take a look at the computer model plots here across the we still wait. Alright, that's the current position here. All the computer models are tightening up. Look like it's going to be somewhere in the region of Florida, maybe as far west as portions of the Florida Panhandle. So if anybody lives from, I'd say, southern Alabama, all the way to at least maybe Tampa, Florida, in this region here, you need to be on the lookout for this hurricane and tropical storm as it continues to move in your direction. All right, most of the model takes it right across Alabama and Georgia. Well, most of them cross Georgia. One takes it as far west as southeast Alabama. but most of the model takes it anywhere from southwest Georgia all the way over to northern Florida. But most of, or well, really southeast Georgia. One takes it through Florida. But most of the models now is coming into main consensus. That's why the National Hurricane Center is projected it to go this way, right through uh, southeast Georgia, central Georgia, through central South Carolina, eastern South Carolina, and up into North Carolina, and then back out to sea, moving off the coast of the outer banks of North Carolina. So we're going to take a look at that there. We'll have another update on this here tomorrow, folks, on this system. All right. Let's take a look at the intensity guidance. Look like the intensity guidance has went up a little bit since the last time I looked at it earlier this afternoon. All right, we got winds of about 25 knots. It equals up 30 miles per hour. Most models do take it into tropical storm status. Some takes it all the way into a Category 3 hurricane. A couple models do. So, and most of them takes it. Some of them takes it up to her Category 1. But most of them keeps it a tropical storm. That's why I'm leaning right now towards a Category 1, maybe a Category 2, possible. A Category 2 could come out of this system, but like I say, that water is really warm. I would not be surprised that thing ramps up pretty quickly. So if you just want to keep if you know anybody in Florida, tell them to tune into the Mike Bass Weather Forecast channel, and I will keep them up to date on the latest with the tropics. Alright, that's your tropical update. With that, we'll have Franklin coming up at the end of the broadcast. Let's take a look at this heat wave in the middle portion of the country and the southern portion of the country as well. Alright, as you can see here, we got tropical storm warnings and hurricane warnings out in the Atlantic waters. Also, we got tropical storm warnings now in the Gulf of Mexico and also around the Cuba in the Caribbean Sea as well. All right. Excuse me. All right, we got some heat advisory for eastern North Carolina, portion of eastern South Carolina, also in the upstate South Carolina, much of Georgia, northern Florida, the panhandle of Florida, all of Alabama, portion of Tennessee as well, also in the portion of Arkansas and also Oklahoma and also into Texas as well. Also up here in portions of Washington State as well. Oregon State, you got some air quality alerts for you guys, and also in portion of Colorado and also Oklahoma. All right, we got excessive heat warnings ongoing in portion of Tennessee, much of our Arkansas, all of Mississippi, all of Louisiana, and much of Texas. Also in Arizona and Southern California, with a few heat advisories there as well in California. All right, we got some flood watches, flood warnings in effect for you guys in portions of New Mexico and also one up here in portions of Illinois. Some severe thunderstorm warnings in South Carolina, also into portions of Virginia, North Carolina, also into Kentucky as well. Special marine warnings right on coastal areas of the panhandle of Florida. Also some heat warnings. All right, some heat advisory right on coastal areas and some red flag warnings also in effect for portions of Louisiana as well. Beach hazard statements still in effect for you guys from New York State all the way to portion of Michigan, also over towards Minnesota as well. Also, we still got those flood watches in effect for portions of Alaska on the north side, south side, wind advisory there, and some storm warnings there as well. The Hawaiian Chain Island is pretty good. Got one island with some gale warnings for you guys as well this afternoon. All right, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center overview. Start off with it first. Okay, as you can see, there's that scattered activity over the northeast, coastal waters, down in the Carolinas, also back in the portion of Virginia through West Virginia, all the way back into Missouri, also in the portions of Tennessee, also in the Missouri there as well, and Arkansas, also down into Cuba. That's Tropical Depression 10, moisture, activity over here in the Gulf of Mexico and also into Mexico, also in Louisiana, Texas, all the way back into Arizona, New Mexico, also back into portions of Idaho and also into Washington, Oregon State, also in the portion of North Dakota as well, right on the Canadian border as well. Marginal risk in the darker green areas, you can see that a little better. General thunderstorms in the lighter green areas. Yellow areas here, that's a slight risk area for severe weather today. Current watches, none. The MDS discussion, none. Storm report currently as of this recording. We had 2 tornado reports in Illinois. Wind report 13 was and 0 was high. They were pretty much in um, right along the border of Virginia and also into North Carolina, also in central South Carolina, the Panhandle of Florida, also you guys in Tennessee, southeast Missouri, and Texas and Oklahoma as well. Hail reports, we had none of them. Severe, so that brought the total number to 15. Would not be surprised to see them numbers go up to maybe about 20 or 25 over the coming hours. Afternoon, a little bit, and also the couple of disturbances in the tropical Atlantic. All right, 5 p.m. advisory. That's the wind field around the system. At 5 p.m. it was located here. Hurricane through Sunday p.m. Monday a.m. become a major hurricane with winds up about 115, maybe up to 125 miles per hour, and sometime between Monday morning and into Tuesday afternoon. Then kind of drop back to a category 2 and then back to a category 1 hurricane over about 2 p.m. Thursday over the north central tropical Atlantic, and then it will continue to race on off to the east northeast. All right, if you want to track this storm at home, it's located near latitude 23.8 north, longitude 67.5 west. Maximum sustained wind currently at 85 miles per hour, which is a category 1 hurricane. Movement is to the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Hurricane classified is 74 to 110 miles per hour. That's a category 1 to 2. And then a major hurricane from 3 to 5 is 110 plus. All right. Let's take a look at the disturbances and we'll wrap up the video. All right, as you can see, we don't have pretty much, only thing we got is Tropical Depression 10, located right along the Northwest Caribbean Sea, right along the right along the Gulf of Mexico area there. There's Hurricane Franklin, and there's that disturbance there. It only has a 30% over the next 7 days, a 20%, that's 92L. It is gradually weakening, so shouldn't be nothing there. Still watching that little system move off the African coast. The African coast, that is, has about 20% development over the next 7 days. Right now it has 0 chance of development in the next 48 hours. Alright, well, that ends today's video. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. We'll catch you back in the next video, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Have a great Saturday evening.